Over 1,000 stones till the end of the year. But where should you spend them? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we are talking about all of the upcoming banners between now and February for Global Dokkan battle, and deciding which banners you may or may not want to spend your hard-earned stones on. After all, we are in a post-worldwide download celebration world, and we are entering that special time of year where Dokkan decides to throw any and every banner they can at us to try to get us to spend those stones. If you guys checked out our previous video on the topic of stones, you know that we will be receiving between now and the end of the year, not including part of the New Year's celebration, over 1,000 stones. You know, stones that you could be banking for something big. But the question is there anything in the meantime that might be worth your attention? So let's go ahead, let's hop on into the first banner to be up next on Global Dokkan. We are currently in the midst of the Turles celebration, and we've already had the Dokkan Fest banner available, and you've probably done your summons already, or you've decided to skip entirely, being that we are post-Worldwide, which means the next banner to come is this yellow coin banner right here for the Int Tree of Might Goku, right? This guy has an active skill Spirit Bomb. It is an incredibly powerful powerful active skill. The guy himself hits like a truck, but doesn't do much else. He's just a big numbers guy. And, you know, he's caused a lot of controversy in the community for that reason. But, should you summon on his banner, right? If you were to spend some of that 1,000 stones you're going to be getting, is this the banner you should do it on? Well, it's not a bad banner, right? You've got the new Tree of Might Goku, who, you know, if that's a character you like, is definitely going to be worth it. But it's also got Goku and Gohan, AGL Golden Frieza, Yajirobe, Ader, and this Power Wishes Goku, who himself is not that bad. For a yellow coin banner, it's actually pretty decent. It's not the worst yellow coin banner we've ever had. To add on to that, this banner on Global Dokkan will introduce at least the beginnings of a pity system, meaning after X amount of stones, you will be guaranteed a copy of the new LR. Now, we don't know what that's going to be just yet, how much that's going to be, based on the info they provided during the producer letter. It seems like it could be around 7 multis or so. Could be more. I mean, 7 multis does seem a little low, but that was a number that they had specifically listed on there. So who knows? We'll have to see how it works, what the actual rates are, and whether or not it is worth it. But just know that that's coming. But to be completely honest, knowing about what lies ahead, I don't really think this is a banner that anyone should spend any stones on, even with the pity, but we'll have to see how the pity goes. So of your 1,000 stones, I don't think you should really spend any here. Up next, we will have the fantastically spooky Dokkan Festival banner. This is an exciting banner that comes once a year, only on Global Dokkan, and it's a really, really good banner. This banner basically brings back all of the Dokkan Fests from the year onto one banner in case you missed them. Now, if we're talking about budgeting our stones appropriately, whether or not it would be worth a summon here, just know that they usually offer a discount for like the first multi or so, right? If you can see here, 40 stones on that first multi to get a Dokkan Festival. So, and then you get a Kai every time you do a multi summon. So it's honestly not a bad banner, right? If we think about who this is this year it's going to return the God Goku, number 1. And then you'll have the Goku, the Goku and Cell here are going to be World Tournament Goku and Int Piccolo Jr. These were the New Year's units. This is Orange Piccolo and Fizz Ultimate Gohan. This was the December unit the year prior. So this will probably be, who was our December unit last year? Vegeta and Trunks, so this will probably be Resurrection of F Blues, who would have been their slot, and then the August unit from the year prior. So August unit, this will be Raditz probably. So I mean, aside from these two, it's probably a really, really good banner, but also not a banner we should really spend. Really, this banner is designed to be, if you missed any of this units and you didn't pick them up during Worldwide or whenever, well, God Goku, this would be his first return. This is your chance to pick them up with red coins instead of having to summon for them. You honestly could, and we'll probably get some free tickets as we always do every year, but not really a place you should be spending your stones. But now we start getting into the Dokkan Festival banners. Now, the next 3 banners I'm going to show you can occur in any order, as every year it's kind of been completely different how they approach it, but it really won't matter in the grand scheme of things, right? When we look at the first most likely candidate for the November banner, we have the LR Super Full Power Saiyan 4 Goku. Well, he's a Super Saiyan 4 Goku who then standbys into Oob, who then standbys into Super Full Power Saiyan 4. This guy is insane. He is still one of the best LRs in the game, barring some of the new worldwide units. He's really, really good. When he actually gets to the full power Super Saiyan 4 form, right, he is insane. There's nary a boss that can defeat him when he gets to that point, right? It's just, you know, in some of these shorter events, it's difficult to get to that point. But the question is, if we're budgeting properly, how many stones should you spend on this banner? Well, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I would say for this banner, this should be where the bulk of your stones are spent. But even that, I don't think a free-to-play player, or even if you're low-to-play, even though there will be tickets provided for this banner if you're low-to-play, you should spend any more than, I would say, 500 stones on this banner. I would say do what you can to get it, unless they decide to randomly, like if pity goes well with this banner here, and they decide to throw in the pity now on this banner, then maybe go until you get pity if it's not too bad. Like if it's only like 7 multis or so, like I'm thinking, and that's being very generous, by the way. Don't quote me on that. I'm just using one of the numbers they quoted for a guaranteed unit on the banner from the producer letter. Whatever it is, though, right? Maybe go for that, but realistically, as a free-to-play, low-to-play player, I would say no more than 500 stones on this banner, and then continue back on your savings pattern. And the reason I say that is because 2 reasons. Number 1, this guy will return on Saiyan Day, March 18th, 2024. This guy will return. So if you don't get him within that 500 stones, then I would just say wait. While he is an amazing character, he's incredibly powerful. If you've got the worldwide units, if you've got the anniversary units, it can wait. There is also a chance you could pick them up for free in December whenever they bring this banner, and we'll talk more about this banner here in a second. Let's see if we can pull it up. This banner here. When they bring back the Tanabata banner in December, you can also have a chance to get him for free. So I would say 500 stones. I would call it at that point if you are budgeting your stones. Realistically, by the end of the year, you really shouldn't be spending most of what you've picked up, right? Let's say you walked out of Worldwide Celebration with complete 0, knowing that you're going to have 1,000 by the end of the year, and you're about to spend 500 on this guy, may not be the best thing, knowing that by the end of the year, not only could we have a new shared celebration, but you could also get the step-up banner, and we don't know what the step-up banner is going to look like this year, but they're going to have to do something better than they did last year to make it worth it for players. So I would keep that in the back of your mind. So, as I said, no more than 500 stones, and I would call it at that if you're budgeting appropriately. Following this banner, though, let's assume this is November. The next banner we will see is the Dragon Ball Heroes banner, right? This dropped around the middle, or actually more towards the end of November last year, and last year it featured 5 5 new crossover characters, 2 of whom are still as an SS. Actually, 6 new characters, right? Oh, no, it was 5. It awakened these other 4 here. So the next banner, whoever it brings, is going to bring new characters and then awaken these guys right here. So if Super Dragon Ball Heroes is your thing, definitely plan accordingly. You know, maybe I would say as a free-to-play, low-to-play player, no more than 200 stones on this banner. It is guaranteed featured, so no matter what you do, you're pulling something here. And, you know, this here could be something hype if this is your bag, right? If this is something you enjoy, you like the heroes units, this is definitely a good place to summon because it is guaranteed featured, right? You will pull one of the units on this banner. To give you an idea of just how easy it is to pull units, right? Last year, within 200 stones, we rainbowed the Goku. It took us 600 to get the Vegeta, but we rainbowed the Goku in 200. The year prior, we rainbowed the Trunks in 3. So, like, it's very easy to pull the new units on these banners. So, as a free-to-play, low-to-play player, maybe go till you get your 1 copy, 200 stones or so. Following this banner, the next set of banners we will get is going to be one of 2 banners, right? Assuming, again, that Super Full Power Saiyan 4 is in November, we will see one of 2 banners come next. Either the Super Trunks banner, which will return the STR 17 and 17, and then the next possibility is these guys here, the 17 and 18. Now, I know that seems crazy because this banner just showed up on JP, but it's not the first time they would have done something like this. Back when Super Vegeta and Kale and Caulifla came out on JP, they ended up switching those, so we ended up getting Kale and Caulifla, even though they came after Super Vegeta first, in the December time slot. The Dokkan, outside of certain special occasions, likes to throw Tournament of Power units in December, so it's entirely possible we could see these guys show up in the December time slot. So just keep that in mind. But either way, my recommendation is the same. It's probably a little higher if it is these guys here. While the Super Trunks is amazing, he's a big I am a big fan favorite. There's nothing big on value in terms of what his banner provides, right? 17 is a very specialized unit. Unless you're someone who likes 17, I wouldn't go out of your way to get it. And Trunks is the same way, right? He's a great card, don't get me wrong, but unless he's someone you really, really enjoy, the banner in it itself doesn't provide much value. So really, up to this point, there's only 2 real banners you should be looking at: Heroes and the Super Full Power Saiyan 4. However, if they end up dropping these guys in the December time slot, there's a little increased in value, as Kale, while extremely specialized, is super, super powerful. And then, of course, it returns God Goku. So if you didn't summon or you didn't use coins on that Halloween banner because you didn't have enough, this is definitely a good place to pick him up. The Kid Goku, also on this banner, another good pickup. And the androids themselves are incredibly powerful. They are an insane support unit for their new category of universe tournament participants, and for Universe 7 and Universal Survival Saga. Incredibly useful support in those areas, although their team fully still needs to be more fleshed out. But there's a little more banner value here. I would say that if you were missing most of these units, probably I would say 200 to 250 stones or so on this banner. Although, I mean, if it's specifically God Goku you're chasing on this banner, you may want to hold off till Saiyan Day, because at this point, you'll only be 2 months away from Saiyan Day. So, you know, maybe it might be worth it just to wait until March 18th. Up next, the biggest place you should be saving your stones for if you are a new player. I would say year 1 to year 3 new player on Dokkan Battle. You need to save at least 200 of that 1,000 stones for this banner right here. If you want to go the full 600 and do all 3 rotations, then by all means go for it. But I would say at least 200 to try to get some of what you might be missing. This is the New Year step up. It happens every year at the end of the year. This banner basically has steps going in increasing number of stones and increasing value, right? The first step is a step 20, basically extreme superclass category easy A leader. So we'll see these guys in addition to the newer ones that have easy A'd as well. Actually, I don't think this list might not change at all. They might bump some of these guys into the list maybe, and bump some of the older ones off, like Future Gohan, this guy. Like maybe like they might bump off these 2 rows here, and then bump these guys up into here, honestly. The step 2 will pretty much be this. This is almost always guaranteed to be the step 2, just because it's going to be like the first round of LRs are always going to be in that step 2. From there, the step 3, so this was the 2021 units for the banner. So this year it'll be the 2022 units here, the Dokkan Fest 200%. So basically everybody in this row here will move up to here, and then this row will be all the 2023 units up to, if we're talking global, up to Raditz. So who was this for us this year? 17 and 17. So it'll have the World Tournament Goku on here. It'll have the Piccolo Jr. and then 17, who was in this time slot last year. So, I mean, not a bad deal. And then the final one will be, I don't imagine this list changing. They'll just update it to the most recent LRs on the list here. So all the way up to, I think the most recent on JP for this banner was Golden Frieza. So for us, this will be, who is the most recent on here? Goku Piccolo, I think, is... Oh, no, it had the 7th anniversary. So the 8th anniversary LRs will probably be on here. So yeah, up. Oh wait, no, we didn't get yellow coins this year, silly me. Okay, so it's probably up to Super Buu then, more than likely. So Bulma will be on here, Super Buu. So it'll be a pretty good deal. So basically you are guaranteed 1 at each of these steps. You could possibly get more. And on the step here and the step here, you are guaranteed an LR. So it's definitely worth it, and I would say save at least 200 stones if you're a year 1 to year 3 player. If you are anything beyond that, and you've got most of the 200% leads from the last 2 years here, I wouldn't say there's much value here outside of maybe some of the newer LRs. But then, you know, that's taking a big risk, so I don't know that you should be looking out at that if you are, you know, somebody who's been playing for a while, because you've probably got what you need at this point. Other than that, there's a few banners sprinkled here and there throughout that I did want to talk about, but I don't think you should spend stones on. But they're here because, right, this is a stone budgeting guide. The question is, should you spend, right? No matter what happens, this banner is going to show up in December. They're going to try to get you in there. They're going to offer tickets. They're going to offer discounts. They're going to offer a whole lot to get you to summon. I don't recommend you summon on this banner outside of the free tickets that they give you. Really, what this banner is for you to use your red coins to pick up the copy of the 8th anniversary LRs if you miss them. This guy will not be available for coins on this banner, so just be aware of that. Another banner that will show up in December, the December double rates banner. For us, it will be Omega Shenron this year. Honestly, this banner is not one you should be summoned on, given its placement. It'll be right before that Tanabata banner, right after whoever the Dokkan Fest ends up being for December. Omega's great. He still needs a lot of help. And unless you're a Mega Whale, his team just unless every unit is fully rainbowed, just isn't where it needs to be. He leads GT bosses, so yeah, he needs a lot of work before he's worthy of your stones. I would say just wait till maybe 9th anniversary when he shows up on that banner, and then maybe coin him if you didn't already get the other units. So that's pretty much it for all the banners to come. Really, the big places you should spend your stones are this banner here, no more than 500, and then maybe either Trunks or where are they? These guys here. And again, I would say no more than 200 to 250, and then heroes if that's your thing. If you are interested in heroes, right? If not, then that's stones you don't have to spend, right? But I know that is a toss-up for a lot of people. But realistically, outside of the 500 you're going to spend here and maybe the 200 on the Christmas one, I don't think you should be doing much more than saving up to this point. So anyways, guys, that is the video. I know it was a long one, but I wanted to make sure I covered all the banners and show you where I think you should be summoning throughout the year. After all, we should be budgeting our stones for the possibility of a New Year shared celebration like we did the movie collaboration last year. I have a feeling we'll get another shared New Year celebration again this year, and the possibility of a shared 9th anniversary. We don't know anything about it yet, but given the start date of last year's at the end of January, there's a good chance if it is happening, you know, you want to be ready at the end of January. So you want to make sure you're not spending too much of your stones. So I needed to cover all of these banners. So hopefully you guys found this guide useful. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let me know, what banner do you plan on spending the bulk of your stones in? And do you agree with kind of my recommendations here? Let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.